Hello again and welcome back to some climbing news. Got big show for you on a happy Friday. So yeah, let's do this. And starting us off today, we got Sasha DiGiulian making headlines for a really freaking insane epic on LCAP. She sent the direct line, which is also called Platinum Wall. It's the longest free route on LCAP with 39 pitches in total. The entirety of the route itself graded 513D. Now, with this end, she becomes the first woman to free this route on LCAP. And actually, surprisingly enough, given how much time she's spent doing big walls, this is her first time ever freeing anything on LCAP at all, which means if I know my climbers and I feel like I know my climbers, there's a pretty big chance she's got an eye on the nose. Like, this is just absolutely pure speculation on my end, but like, the nose is only a couple of grades harder than platinum. If she really wants to, she's got it in the bag. Especially given the ridiculousness of her actual ascent, because Sasha freaking took 23 days to do this route. Yeah, 23 days in a freaking portaledge, and she somehow came out of that experience being a completely well-adjusted human being. By what standards would you measure that? I don't know. Probably not most people's. But the point is, she freaking did the climb. She was 8 pitches away from the top when a huge storm rolled in that brought wind, brought rain, brought snow, brought hail, and she and her partner, Elliot Faber, stayed in their portaledge for 9 goddamn days waiting for the weather to clear. And when it finally did, they had 8 pitches left, one of them a crux pitch that was now wet, which is just craziness. So, yeah, maybe the nose will be a little bit more of, gentle and user-friendly climbing experience. What the hell do you even do for, like, entertainment when you're stuck in a portaledge for 9 days? That sounds awful. Anyways, if you'd like to check out the story with a little bit more detail, Sam McElwain, who's a friend of the show, she's helped me get my shit straight on a ton of old segments and absolute trad climbing badass. She wrote a really cool piece with a lot more detail for Climbing Magazine. Links in the description below. Highly recommend it. Go give it a go. Go give her a read. She's a good writer. Give her some love. Next, more ladies. Katie Lamb showing the world why she's one of the strongest women to ever climb outdoors. She's just sent one of my personal dream boulders that I will never ever be strong enough to climb, Bugeleisen, AP plus V14 in Maltatal, Austria, which, yeah, congratulations, Katie. The whole climbing world is extremely fucking proud of you, blah, 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 whatever. But mostly just kind of fuck off. I want to be able to do that climb. I want to do it. Ever since I saw Nale, god damn it, Nale, we miss you, adding the sit, I've wanted to do that climb. This stupid show is taking a toll on me like you wouldn't believe. All these freaking pro climbers just rubbing my nose and everything they're sending that I will never be able to do. It's not fair. Why? Just why? Why can't I just put in the effort to get stronger instead of sitting on my ass drinking beer and eating pizza and then wishing it will magically just kind of sort of happen one day? We know it won't. You know, I climb badly, so I seek comfort in unhealthy food, which makes me climb worse, which then cycles into a never-ending spiral of self-loathing. And why is this segment turning so dark? Bugeleisen means iron, which is ironically not what I'm being right now. Little soft baby complaining that people are stronger than him. Jesus. Though actually, okay, means iron is in like the kitchen appliance, the not the metal. It's really more like I need to, iron out my training. Christ, that was bad. Okay. What is wrong with me? I'm getting sick, I think. I'm not really sure. I'm not feeling great. Anyways, back to Katie, who apparently loves the name, and she's not wrong. The name is great. This is actually not the only AB plus V14 she sent that day, actually managing to get in a cheeky ascent of hide and sick, which is also AB plus. So in essence, 2 AP plus V14 boulders in a single day, which is definitely up there as one of the greatest single bouldering days for a woman. Probably the second best day for a woman ever. I think just Yanya's, Dream Time followed by 2 8Bs that she did like November 7th, might be a little bit better. I don't know. People are climbing too many goddamn things. This might be the best day, at least for bouldering. Either way, huge congrats to Katie. Happy she sent the awesome boulder. I'm not jealous at all. It's fine. It's fine. It's cool. Good for her. And then, yeah, we got to talk about Ryuichi Murai. Not because he nearly sent Shaolin and had to go back to Japan empty-handed, but for something I really didn't think needed to be repeated. And yet, Here we fucking are. Because according to Vegas locals, Red Rocks got a metric shit ton of rain while this dude was out there working Sleepwalker. I'm talking, Ryuichi posted November 12th about working return, and then it rained on the 14th, the 15th, the 16th, the 18th, the 19th, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd of November. The day Ryuichi posted about sending Return of the Sleepwalker, that was the 23rd. So what does that mean? Well, you do the freaking math. I can't do that. Dude was out there climbing on fucking White Rock. Okay, and listen, I don't give a fuck about how hard what you're working on is. I don't give a fuck that you're sponsored and you're one of the strongest climbers in the world. I don't give a flying fuck that you paid money to fly and go climbing and you got screwed over by rain. Go fucking cry to Hamish MacArthur, to Noah Wheeler, and to the entirety of the tension climbing marketing budget who just had that happen to them in Finland and had to come back home empty-handed. It is a miracle that the videos those guys made were as good as they are, when the shit could have been like watching a vulture lazily peck at the dried up carcass that used to be a beautiful lion. Rain sucks. But you know what sucks more? Having the goddamn fucking hubris to think that you're special enough to climb on desert sandstone when it's been soaked for fucking 8 days straight, man. It's the desert, you fucking dork. That canyon got an entire year's worth of rain in a couple of days, and you have the gall to write in your stupid little Instagram caption that the place was surprisingly rainy at first. Yeah, no shit. You're in the desert. It's not supposed to do that. You know what else you're not supposed to do? Climb. You know what you do when the desert is surprisingly rainy? You sit on your ass and you watch it fucking rain. You do not go out and climb on rock. You do not go out and set a shitty example for people. You are Ryuichi goddamn Murai. People look up to you. Hell, I took time out of my day to figure out how to pronounce your goddamn name because I respected you so much. I'm gonna get comments in this video where people will try to defend you, where they'll say, but the likelihood of that particular boulder breaking is super small because it's not a bunch of small crimpy flakes or whatever. Yeah? Have you actually looked at that boulder? Those cracks are absolutely breakable, first of all. Second of all, that much water seeping into the boulder, it doesn't goddamn matter if it's a sloper. You weigh that shit enough and it's goddamn gone. If anything, we're lucky that Duich is short and probably doesn't weigh very much. And either way, when it comes to stuff like this, gray areas shouldn't exist. They just shouldn't. It's Sleepwalker, okay? It's fucking Sleepwalker. It's one of the most iconic boulders of all time. And Ryuichi Murai decided to be a selfish fucking child and put every single subsequent possible repeat at risk because he just couldn't freaking wait? That is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. There is no excuse for this shit. And I know that I'm laughing a little bit, but honestly, it's because I can't even believe that a pro climber would act this way. There's, again, no excuse, none whatsoever. Dude is a professional climber. There's absolutely zero chance that he doesn't know what he did was wrong, that he doesn't know that he's not supposed to climb on wet sandstone. It's like climbing outdoors 101. I just lost so much respect for this guy. He should be fucking ashamed of himself, to be honest. It's absolutely ridiculous. Especially because he also freaking got away with it, right? How many people out there just saw this, saw the boulder not break, and are now going to take a similar risk themselves, thinking that they just got absolute evidence that the whole climbing on wet sandstone thing is bad, is actually a myth? I'll tell you the answer. It's a lot of equally selfish, equally stupid people. Great job there, Ryuichi Murai. You set a wonderful example for the whole climbing world to see. Awesome stuff. Didn't even care. Great. Awesome. Okay, I'm done yelling at people. We're going to talk about Ben Kim next. You may or may not know, depending on how deep into the whole board climbing community you are. So, Ben Kim is this kid out of the northeast of the US who's known for being just absolutely ridiculously strong as a board climber. He's at the very top of the list of people we'd love to see featured in Board Lords episodes because of how ridiculously good he is. Dude had a monster session back in July where he sent nine V13 AB boulders and 2 8A plus V12 boulders. He's campused Roses and Blue Jays, an extremely famous V13 boulder in Great Barrington, Massachusetts, and now he's just sent Lucid Dreaming, which is an ultra famous, super tall 8C V15 boulder in Bishop that really doesn't need an introduction, but if you've never heard of it and want to see some cool shit, video of Jimmy Webb on it from a few years back is down in the description for your viewing pleasure. So, honestly, though, there's not much to say about Ben Sen. Lucid is probably one of the coolest and most iconic boulders in the world. Dude seems to have been absolutely stoked to have been able to do it. I'm not surprised he was able to do it. Like, if I'm super honest, and we look at how strong this dude is next to someone like, oh, say Noah Wheeler, for example, at least on a board, they're practically neck and neck. Like, Noah did 10,000 days of E13 board climb, took him a whole Board Lords episode. Ben did it in 2 goes, which is nuts. So, yeah, just kind of, a matter of whether or not Ben wants to try climbing outdoors more often. I mean, hopefully he will. Dude's also, like, what, I think 18 at most? So, yeah, he's got a lot of time to get better. It's going to be cool to see what he does in the future. I'm personally very excited to see what he gets up to. You should be too. Let's move on. But hey, seeing as how I'm talking about lucid dreaming, I figure what better way to transition than to talk about Paul Robinson, the guy who got the first Ascent, because Paul Robinson is freaking back, which is great to see. Dude kind of disappeared for a long while. He's been, dealing with injury after injury, like literally had 2 discs replaced, and I'm assuming a few other things that aren't really my business to speculate on. But regardless, Paul just sent a climb called Terpentine 8C V15 in Colorado, which is a really, really long-standing project of his. The other day I talked about how he also sent Sound of Violence, so it seems like we're seeing a P-Rob who is very much back in form, and I'm very excited to see that. Dude's climbed 26 boulders at 8C V15, and Terpentine is a post-break first ascent that he managed to do relatively quickly, about 3 sessions in total, not counting the times that he'd worked on the boulder before, all the rehab and training that he's been doing. So just awesome to see, man. It's like, it's just so cool. Paul Robinson's now 38. He's back stronger than ever, reportedly looking out for his diet and apparently almost exclusively training on, you guessed it, the TB2, which is, like not really a surprise. And also parallels with Ben Kim's last story, right? Like dude sending on the TB2, going out to rock, dude Paul Robinson's thing while Paul is doing his rock thing, but then also doing Ben's thing on the TB2. It's like literary symmetry, and I'm I'm gonna shut the fuck up and move on. And moving on, talk about Chaehyun, who's done with her big Oliana vacation, or at least she was about a week ago, and I somehow completely freaking missed this absolute monster of a tick list. She was in Oliana for freaking 2 weeks. That's a 2 week list. She was super close to sending Pachamama, which is a 9A plus 515A route. And I just freaking, again, just look at this goddamn monstrosity, especially those on-sites and flashes. Like, let's not forget that there are only 7 people in the entire world who have on-sited 8C plus, and she's got an 8C right there. Much more common to do that, but still way, way, way less common than you might think. That is ridiculously impressive. And again, she seems to have spent quite a bit of time trying Pachamama, so to get insanely close to sending 2 9A plus routes while also having the time to, do this within 2 weeks is just, I mean, it's insane. Comp climbers are ridiculous, honestly. What else is new, right? Like, it's not news to anybody at this point. Comp climbers are good at climbing. That was surprising. And on we move to the Wizard doing wizard things. A minute change in beta was enough for Dave Graham to get the second ascent of Cryolite 8CV15. And yeah, it's Dave freaking Graham. When he says minute change of beta, you might think he means like, he used a different foothold or whatever. The reality is, this dude is operating on such a ridiculously detailed level when it comes to body positioning that it's much more likely he meant something like, he lined up his toe with the hole like 3 millimeters to the left instead of where he was placing his foot before on that same hole, if that makes any sense. Like, dude, Dave Graham is so freaking precise and conscious about his movement and his body. The dude literally puts tick marks on his shoes so his foot placement lines up perfectly with where it's supposed to go on the hole. Like, I've never done that in my life. Like, A, that's genius, and B, I think Dave Graham might be the weakest climber to ever climb 8C plus V16. And I mean it with all the absolute goddamn respect in the world. You see people climbing nowadays, their overall strength is so insanely high that they're operating with crazy freaking margins, and they really don't need to, to be absolutely perfect in order to send. Like Medisha, completely missing the slope run and splash of Casavino, and it's still somehow miraculously staying on the wall. How the hell did he do that?
Allez, gros, allez. Allez, encore.
Yeah, like that, exactly. But with Dave Graham, he's a wizard. He doesn't need to have the strongest fingers or the strongest body. He knows more about climbing technique than anyone on the planet. So much so that I personally would not be surprised if his strength metrics were comparable to, like, I don't know, your average V11 or even V12 climber. Anyways, if you're newish to the sport, you want to know a thing or two about, understanding movement, positioning, how just absolutely detailed some people can get, go check out literally all of Dave Graham's stuff. Guys are at the forefront of bouldering for freaking years at this point. And then Empath just got a second ascent on freaking gear by a total undercover crusher, Sam Dalton. What in the hell is, like, are you people literally insane on gear? Are there people watching this show that had no fucking clue what I'm talking about? Probably. Go figure it out on your own. I'm done holding your hand. It's gatekeeping time. I'm kidding. Okay, look. Empath is a sport climb on a cliff that was discovered by a little dude named Jimmy. Little, in this case, being completely relative. Put him next to a gorilla and he's teeny tiny. It makes me feel better about myself. Anyways, cliffs get sport climbed a ton sometimes, and so that's exactly what this other guy, Carlo Traversi, did. He bolted a route, sent it, called it Empath, suggested 9A plus 515A, then that same route, which is on the cliff that Jimmy found, by the way. I don't know why I didn't mention that before, but it follows a series of parallel cracks up this wall, was then sent by that same said Wimmy Jeb and Waniel dudes with some, like, really freaking cool compression beta. Honestly, go watch all three of those dudes since. They're really, really cool. Eventually, the route got repeated a ton of times, downgraded to 9A 514D, and then along came little Tommy Caldwell, who realized all those freaking idiot kids in this case also being completely relative, were missing a ton of hand and fist jams, and so he sent super fast and downgraded that thing to 8C 514B, which I think is absolutely hilarious. Now, before Tommy's ascent, Connor Herson, who had already sent the route as a sport climb, decided to try to do the whole thing on gear, which means he freaking placed all of his protections and didn't use any bolts. And that is, quite frankly, fucking insanity. And now that's been repeated by Sam Dalton, who's also sent on gear. Because it's a crack, right? You can put all kinds of stuff in cracks. Shove whatever you don't. Shut up. Point is, I don't know if he changed up the beta. I don't know if he used Tommy's way or if he didn't. I don't know if Tommy maybe went a step too far because Sam suggested 8C plus 9A for the route when he suggested 8C. But the point is, to send this thing on gear is ballsy as shit and incredible stuff. There's a video coming out soon. But yeah, man, I'm very excited to watch that. You should be too. Also, I'm gonna link to Connor's gear send for your viewing pleasure. It's down there. Highly recommended. But yeah, there you go. But hey, that was some climbing news. Thanks as always for watching. Once again, for the umpteenth goddamn time, gonna ask that you not forget to do the YouTube thing, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. It helps me out. It's nice to see. But yeah, people, enjoy the weekend. Have fun. I will see you all on Tuesday for another episode. But in the meantime, and as always, go climb some stuff.